Not every strange tradition is easy to explain, but every one of them was once someone's way of staying safe. Tonight, around this same fire, I have 7 more stories for you. 7 countries, 7 different fears, habits, and quiet rituals people still carry today. Let's begin. Story 1. Never chew gum after dark. In Turkey, there is a small habit that many parents still warn their children about. Do not chew gum at night. It sounds like nothing more than a strange rule about manners, but the old belief behind it is much darker. According to tradition, gum chewed after sunset is believed to turn into the flesh of the dead. Imagine being 12 years old, offered a stick of gum after dinner, and watching your grandmother's face change instantly. Some say it comes from a warning about hygiene, disguised as something more frightening, so children would actually listen. Others believe it dates back centuries to fears about disturbing the spirits of the night. Either way, even today, in some Turkish households, a piece of gum offered after dark is quietly, politely refused. But the night brings more than one quiet rule most people never think to question. In Japan, there's something else you're not supposed to do once the sun goes down. Story 2. Never cut your nails at night. In Japan, an old saying has been passed down for generations. Yoru ni tsume o kiru to, oya no shinime ni aenai. If you cut your nails at night, you will not be present at your parents' deathbed. To modern ears, it sounds almost too specific to be real, but the origin may be simpler than it seems. Centuries ago, homes were lit only by candlelight or the dim glow of a fire. Cutting your nails in near darkness with a blade was genuinely dangerous, so elders invented a warning severe enough that no child would risk it. Over time, the warning outlived the danger. The candles disappeared. The fear did not. Picture a grandmother quietly reaching out, stopping a child's hand just as it reaches for the nail clippers after dark. Even now, some people in Japan still hesitate just for a second before reaching for them themselves. Not every superstition is about danger, though. Some are simply about giving yourself a quiet moment before something begins. Story 3. Sit in silence before a journey. In Russia, before anyone leaves for a long trip, something quiet happens. Everyone stops. Bags are already packed. Coats are already on. And yet, for a moment, the whole family sits down together in complete silence. No talking, no phones. Just a minute, sometimes less, of simply being still. The tradition is called posidet na doroshku, to sit before the road. Some say it began as a superstition, a way to confuse evil spirits who might be waiting to follow travelers out the door. Others see it differently, a final moment to breathe, to make sure nothing important was forgotten before stepping into the unknown. Even now, in homes across Russia, that one strange, silent minute before a journey has never quite disappeared. Some beliefs slow you down before you move. Others try to warn you about what's coming through something even smaller than a minute of silence. Story 4. The Eye That Twitches. In India, a small, involuntary twitch above the eye is never seen as random. For a man, if the right eye twitches, it's said to be a sign of good fortune on the way. But if the left eye twitches, many believe it's a quiet warning. Something difficult may be coming. For women, in many traditional beliefs, it works in reverse. Where the meaning came from, no one fully agrees. Some trace it to ancient astrology, others to old folk medicine, where any unexplained twitch was treated as a message from the body itself. But walk into almost any home in India and mention an eye twitching. Before anyone asks how you're feeling, they'll ask one simple question: which eye? Small signs from the body are one thing, but in Scotland, an entire year's luck can depend on something as simple as who walks through your door first. Story 5. The First Footer. In Scotland, the first person to step through your front door after midnight on New Year's is believed to shape your entire year ahead. This is called first footing. Tradition says the ideal first footer is a dark-haired man carrying small symbolic gifts: a piece of coal for warmth, bread so the house is never hungry, a coin so it is never poor. A fair-haired stranger, some believed, brought exactly the opposite: bad luck for the year ahead. The origin likely comes from old Viking influence. In parts of Scotland centuries ago, a blonde stranger arriving at your door in the dead of winter was rarely good news. Even today, in many Scottish towns, families still quietly arrange who will be the first to knock, just after the clock strikes 12. If Scotland worries about who enters a home, Mexico focuses on something even more important: making sure the ones who are gone can still find their way back to it. Story 6. The Path Made of Marigolds. In Mexico, every autumn, something remarkable happens in homes across the country. Bright orange flower petals, marigolds, are laid down in a careful trail from the front door all the way to a small altar inside. This is part of Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The petals are not decoration, they are a path. According to belief, the strong scent and vivid color of the marigold are the only things bright enough to guide the spirits of loved ones home for one night each year. Photographs are placed on the altar, propped beside a warm cup of coffee. Favorite foods, still steaming. And sometimes a small glass of tequila, poured for someone who can no longer drink it, but is offered anyway, out of habit, out of love. Not to mourn, to welcome. For one night, the border between the living and the dead is not something to fear. It is something to walk across, together. But if Mexico opens a path for spirits once a year, there is one country where an entire government has learned to build roads around them, permanently. Story 7. The People You're Not Allowed to See. In Iceland, there is a belief in hidden people, the Huldufolk. They are said to live inside large rocks and boulders scattered across the countryside, invisible to most human eyes. To many outsiders, this might sound like nothing more than an old folk tale for children, but in Iceland, it has, on several occasions, quietly stopped construction equipment in its tracks. There are documented cases where road projects were delayed or even rerouted after local concern that construction would disturb rocks believed to be Huldufolk homes. Imagine driving across Iceland, following a quiet road through open country, and never realizing that the road beside you gently bends around a single rock because someone, somewhere, still believes a family lives inside. Whether they're real or not isn't really the point. The road still bends. So, 7 stories, 7 countries, 7 different reasons to pause. A stick of gum, a pair of nail clippers, a minute of silence, a twitching eye, a stranger at the door, a path of flowers, a boulder in the road. Small moments, ordinary objects, and yet in every one of them, someone, somewhere, still chooses caution over convenience, not because they are certain, but because some habits are older than doubt itself. So tell me, which one of these have you caught yourself doing without ever knowing why?